listening to Rated RX. Your dose for the day.
Hello, all. We are here, the Rated RX podcast. I am Sam, a humble pharmacist, with my colleagues here, Robbie and Xavier.
When you get
three of us boys here, just trying to have some fun, talking over some different pharmacy
boys just want to have
ideas, just having fun. Anything good today for either of you?
fun. Go for it. Say sorry.
Nothing much. I was off today. I'm going on a vacation soon, going down to New Orleans. It's my 10-year college anniversary for homecoming. So we're going to homecoming, going to party it up for a little bit. And yeah, I'm just going to finish packing after this and go have fun.
Very nice. It's going to be a blast.
Oh, yeah.
Tearing it up. Robbie, anything for you before we get into
It's so funny. I had a community outreach event where I had to do blood pressure screenings, and then just sort of like refer people out if it's bad. And today I got recruited to do some random event where it was like a women's wellness event where they were collecting vital signs. And it was the first time I like had a row of people back to back. You'd be surprised how hard it is to get people to want to get their blood pressure checked. So it's like I'll be out in their community randomly sitting there like, you want to get your blood pressure checked? But they like were sitting down, lining up, and then like I'm very lucky because I have a little electronic like automatic handcuff, and the battery was going out, and I'm sitting there thinking like, what the hell? This has never happened. Like I would never think to bring extra batteries because no one takes me up on this. And usually for 3 hours, I'm just sitting there on my phone, and it was just, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. So feel good, feel rewarded because people actually took me up on that and didn't have any outrageous blood pressures that scared me. So it was a good day.
Okay. Did it last through all the patients?
I got through all 30 of them for this women's wellness thing. You know, it was like, I'm not really sure what the whole thing was about, but I was the portion where they get their blood pressure checked, but the whole event, they would go in and get like their waist circumference, everything else, just to get their whole, you know, body package going on. And so it was just weird. I was like, you know, it's like, this is a first where I've been recruited to help them with their side project of their group. But it was,
everyone just thought it was part of the event. It was like, okay, I guess we gotta go do this.
That's what they recruited me for, to do it. But like, I had no details from my boss. They're just like, yeah, show up, do some blood pressure screenings. And usually I get like a whole detailed list of what to expect. And I showed up, and I found the event coordinator like, so what do you want me to do? Like, we have at least 30 people to do your blood pressure screenings. And I was like, what? This never happens. Okay, cool.
Hey, get to work.
Very nice.
Yes.
Good work. All right. Well, we got a weekly weigh-in for this episode. Someone had called in or messaged in asking about why we do certain things. So, question here: why do pharmacists ask for my date of birth every single time I pick up a prescription? Why, guys? Why, oh why? Can't you just not come in, scan her card, good to go? It's like, Jane, yep, here we go, in and out. The eternal question. We just talked to her on the phone. She said she's in. Still asked that date of birth. Why are we doing that?
Well, we didn't put the chips in you yet with the COVID vaccine. So, you know, next outbreak, we'll put some chips in you and then we can easily know who you are. But a lot of people have the same name, and a lot of people have the same name and birthday too sometimes. So it can get pretty, you know, we can think you're someone else. We got to make sure we have the right person.
Just today, I was searched by date of birth on someone and just picked them, and then I realized you could see down the line if they were in the same date of birth. Same first name, last name was different by one letter. So it was like Miller with an ER and then an AR or something like that, where it was one letter difference. I was like, wow, damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we want the date of birth first, then we're going to get your social security next, and then ideally some blood samples, and, you know, so we're slowly gathering what we need from you, patients, so we can take on your identity. No, I'm just kidding. But
even with everybody,
if you think I'm being serious, then you need some help. But it's hilarious though, because even with the date of birth, like still think people mix up others all the time. And obviously, like, it's a patient safety thing. Like, you want to make sure right patient, right med, right blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
I think it's like 14 rights now. Back in the day, it was like 5 or 7, but now it's like 14, which is insane. But anyways, yeah, I mean, even at my hospital, it's like we mostly people have different last names, but we go above and beyond. It's like, okay, what's your last name? What's your date of birth? What room are you in? What's your bed? Like they're checking because it happens. It happens. Mixing it up.
Making sure. For sure. I do have a little story here I pulled, just of a report from last year. So there was a case of a 13-year-old boy in Louisiana last year, 2024, and a mother reported that her 13-year-old son, who needed cough medicine, came in for cough medicine, antibiotics, mistakenly given a 30-year-old adult male medication for blood pressure and sleeping and depression. So he was I think it was a losartan and a trazodone that
Dang.
they got for this kid, and the two shared similar first names, same last name, and same birth month and birth day. Obviously, years different,
Wow.
but definitely some similarities. Different address, obviously, and that's what the mother noticed on the address. But I guess the husband picked up the meds, was looking at it, and it said something like take one nightly for 90 days. And he was like kind of curious. It's like, why would we doing like a 3-month something for this like cough and cold, and asked the mom
It's for a cough
to
and cold.
come
Yeah.
over on it. Yeah, so he had a cough and an infection that they were treating, and you know, mom came over and was looking at it too, and then she noticed the address was wrong. It's like, what is this random address? And they started looking at it, realizing that it was a different person's meds that they got for their 13-year-old.
Mm,
Luckily, never took any of it.
good.
A kid didn't take any doses or anything like that. But definitely a scary situation. I know you see the reports, so you can just Google it. You'll see them all different random things of people getting different meds. I remember one maybe it was in school. They were even telling us about of someone in California, same first name, same last name, same date of birth, I believe. Obviously, different phone number, different address. But it was a med for I can't remember what it was, but who took it was a pregnant lady, and it had effects on
Oh
the
yeah, I remember
pregnancy
that.
from it, and that pharmacist or whoever probably did multiple checks on who that patient was, and it still happens, still cause a major problem. So it is scary, and it does happen, and that's why all those checks are there. So, how many errors do you guys think you catch? Kind of like what I just said of, hey, there was two patients with the same thing. If we didn't have that date of birth, if we weren't doing those 3 checks or multiple checks, have you guys have seen any stats on in-house of anyone doing reviews in the VA or in psych? How many errors do you guys see go through because of that?
I think we do a decent job of catching them. I mean, even if you check the date of birth and everything, you still can have easily have a mix up. Sorry. But I think we do a good job of, like, identifying them when they first come in, like, "Oh, we got 2 Williams on the same floor," so they'll make, like, a handout, "This is J. Williams, this is F. Williams," right? And we'll kinda, like, make note of it, or if you have 2 of the same last name on the same team, you're always triple checking your patients, like, "Okay, wait, doctor put in meds for this. Hey, you put in the meds for the wrong Williams, you got the other Williams," so I think we do a pretty good job of catching it because once we notice that, it's 2 patients on the same team with the same name or 2 patients that's gonna discharge with the same last name. We try to make sure we really focus in and hone in on that and double check that a little bit more often than we would do other patients.
Seems like a good system. You guys are at least being a little preemptive on the same names and trying to recognize it. Robbie, you're already talking about you guys are doing a lot of checks, nurses making sure that those meds are there. I'm sure you're getting a lot of meds as well. That some patients on that polypharmacy that you're always going off about and concerned with. Are you seeing? Did that come about from something disastrous that happened, or has always been the case since you've been there?
Yeah, this came about because they failed to check a date of birth and verify a med, and this was related to a long-acting injectable medication. And once that's in, there's like no takesies, backsies. That's like in your system for 2 to 4 weeks. And what had happened was the nurse came to pick up, pharmacist at the time gave them what they thought they were there for, did not ask for a name, did not ask for a drug, no information. The shot was then given. And then another nurse who came in was like, hey, I need this drug for my patient. And they're like, oh, it was already picked up. And the nurse was like, what do you mean it was already picked up? This is my patient. I didn't pick anything up. And then after some investigation, it turned out, yeah, the wrong drug was given. And that resulted in us having to be way more cautious in how we do things. So now our protocol is, if you're picking up a medication, we need data, as it all should have been initially, date of birth, which drug are you picking up? What is the drug strength? And that's largely because the mistake occurred because the two people were on the same drug, but the strength was different. And so no one really like batted an eye because it's like just an LAI that we give pretty frequently, Invega Sustenna. And so it just seemed like it was just any other dispensing day. And so no one caught that. And that resulted into, like a big, they do like these P&T meetings and then med safety meetings too, and to review their process. And that just completely changed the whole hospital policy because that's not something that should have happened. But unfortunately, it does happen.
Yeah, that's tough. It's definitely good that people were wanting to or willing to make some changes there, and not just writing it off. But it's like, yeah, this is a concern or problem. We wanna make this better, and it sounds like they did. Hopefully, you guys are not letting things like that happen anymore. But kind of
Hopefully not.
on that idea of why, thinking big hospital, not necessarily just where you're working, but having that check and what that really driver is. Maybe in person, we're looking about safety and we want to be safe for this. But as a policy, where those come from, is it really about safety? Are they talking or thinking about liability as the main driver? We're concerned about getting sued or concerned with what happens if this gets out or gets known versus making sure that that patient's safe. Do you guys hear, see any of that through practice on what side the people are really concerned with?
Man, I think it's definitely both. Like, number one is safety. We never want any patients to get harmed in any way or form. Because our number one job is to protect the patient, and make sure everything's safe. And the medications that the doctors are using or the doses that they're using, all of it's safe. We're like, the safety guys. But it's also about liability because when we get, let's say we don't have rules for something or we're not structured with or have a clear protocol for something, that can lead to more mistakes. So once mistakes have happened in the past, if someone got sued or something, they have to put in policies in place to prevent it from happening again, which goes back to trying to have the safety for the patients. So it's both safety first, but if you mess up, you should have a policy implemented to help prevent it from happening again.
Robbie, would you agree with that?
I'm sorry. What was the question again? I was looking something up because there was something that caught my attention. What was the
Just
what's
like
the
school.
question?
Just
like
school.
school. It's like Dr. Augustine all over again.
Where's Robbie at?
Come on, Robbie.
Where's
pay
Robbie
attention.
at?
Date of birth checks. Is it really about safety or is it about liability and policy?
It's probably both, honestly. If we're just going to be candid about it, it's definitely both. I know, I mean, it initially started as a safety thing, but then, people sue, people get hurt, and then it becomes a whole liability thing. I mean, think about defensive writing. You're doing that to, CYA. But I mean, just going beyond the date of birth thing, I mean, I just did a quick Google. This is why I wasn't paying attention, so I apologize. I promise this was worth it here.
Yeah.
So we focus on the whole like right date of birth, right? But that's just one part of the 14 rights. I believe it's 14 now. But just a quick Google here says that about 7,000 to 9,000 deaths per year because of these medication errors, because it was the wrong drug, wrong dose, wrong directions, and that could easily be resulted because the wrong person got the wrong med. So it's definitely a problem. And it says, wait, what is this? 400,000 deaths per year. That's very different than 7,000 to 9,000 deaths per year. But so
It's
that was a
bit of a
assault.
range.
Yeah, that's
there.
a lot. But wow, overall, 1.5 million drug errors annually, which is insane. So,
But how many do we prevent?
how many? Who knows, man? Because that's a big problem. Because I mean, a lot of times institutions are afraid to document that because they think if I have this documented that there was an error, then I can get in trouble for it. So a lot of times people catch these things and no one documents that they caught these things. They tell us to, but I mean, how many times do you guys write down that you caught something and fixed it? Unlike the actual hospital policy way they want you to do it, like, do you guys do that? Because I don't. So I just fix the error and I'm like, cool, and I move on.
Oh yeah, we try to document it, especially if it's more severe one. They tell us to do Jaspers. So we try to document it so it don't happen again. They can change policies to fix stuff. So our staff and supervisors tend to push that a little bit. So we do document a little bit more than maybe some other places.
But usually the stuff like that is result from a big error. But what about the ones you prevented though, right? Like how many of those do you actually write down that you prevented?
Right. If the thing we prevented could have led to a really big error, like,
Right.
and then sometimes we get a good catch award, like the institution as a whole does good catch awards for nurses or staff.
But those everyday things you're not writing down.
Right. The
Like,
little
yeah,
things.
exactly.
I mean,
So
we catch so
you
many
take the
as
data with a
pharmacists,
grain
right?
of salt.
Right. We catch so many things as pharmacists, right? Like every
Right,
day we catch 10, 20, 30, 40 different things that a doctor might mess up on or is careless with. But I think they're a little bit more careless sometimes because we're so good at catching things, which that could be bad sometimes as well.
Man. But yeah,
So-
so I mean, really, we don't know. We don't know how much we're catching. So I would like to know, and I want to say, like, obviously, pro pharmacist, So I'm gonna say we're doing a good job, but we don't actually really know.
I think
we
that's why
can
we're
Google this. Let's see. Hold on.
Still got the human factor. It's always the
think
human
that's-
factor in there. So
exactly. But I think that's why we're not always appreciated because like the stuff that we catch just goes unnoticed. We know we caught it. We know we saved a patient's kidneys, or we know we kept the elderly person from taking the wrong medication or something like that. But a lot of that goes unnoticed,
So here's a quick little AI recap here. In a multi-centered study across 11 hospitals, pharmacists intervened on a total of 7,187 errors over a 6-week period. So it's among 11 hospitals. Who knows how many scripts they were doing per day? But I mean, they're there. Like, it's happening, I guess. And who knows if they were actually even reporting everything. So there's something out there, I guess.
just got to assume every time you're checking, assume there's an error.
So,
So one of the first preceptors I had are going, just assume someone screwed up, do it wrong. You're not trying to say that they're bad at their job, but just go into it thinking, okay, where's the error so I can catch this and find it. And just a good way, especially when it's starting out, to think about just trying to find that error. Look at the
I need to
details.
do that a little bit more.
The
Assume
details.
that it's wrong. How do you have
Assume it's
too
wrong.
much faith in people?
Good scanning. do you guys scan everything? Is everything scanned in, scanned out, scan the drug,
Oh yeah.
barcoded? No.
No,
Okay.
y'all don't scan
There's
everything?
another
You guys
level.
scan
There's another
everything.
level, Robbie.
We've
Scanning.
been talking about it for a long time.
You need to
But
tell them to implement
hasn't
it.
happened. Yeah.
But to Zay's comment about the chipping and COVID and our shots, at some point, we're probably some sort of chips. We got them in our phones and your cards and everything. If it's your biometrics or it is a shot that everyone's got a chip and identification. How long do you guys think that that sort of system could replace them walking up, putting their thumb on whatever, and it just pops up? It just pulls up the Med 4, the tech right there. They don't even have to go get it. Pulls it out. It's sitting in there from just because of that finger thumbprint or some sort of scan, an app that picks up. Is that going to start replacing some of these verifications?
I mean, possibly. I mean, the future is here. The future is now. They have that technology available to do it, but I feel like a lot of people will be reluctant to using it, and for good, reasoning. Sometimes our government or leadership don't always use things in our best interest. So I mean, I can see why majority of people will be skeptical to using those things.
So are you asking if technology, chips, things like that are going to replace the human touch, or?
I would
Sure.
say streamlining verifications. Where are we going to get to the point that this person that calls in or send us this, that they won't need to be doing date of births and addresses and all that stuff, where they can come in with their app and it does a double verification like we do in logins. They got their thumbprint, that the system will read their thumbprints, and then it automatically spits out the med for the tech or whoever's there doing the register. We'll be able to streamline
if we get to that point. I think if we get to that point, then like we're living in a dictatorship. I hope not. Jeez, don't get me wrong. We're pretty freaking close, but we're not quite there yet. That'd be terrible. That'd be terrible. And honestly, while things can be streamlined, the cynic in me thinks that they always are going to want someone to blame, and you can't really sue a computer. And so that's also why I don't think AI is going to be taking healthcare jobs, because there are a lot of clinical thinking and reasoning involved, and it can't be streamlined because they want someone to blame if something goes wrong. This is America. You make your money off of a business, breaking tax laws, and then or suing people. So can't get rid of that one.
Zay, you agree with him? It's just not happening.
Yeah, I mean, like, it is voluntary in some places. Like, if you think of Clear that they use at the airport, they already have, like, they scan your face before you go through to skip the line at TSA. So, like, people are already using it voluntarily. TSA has it. The government has all your information. So if you do something like Clear, they already have all your information. So they already can, like, if they see you on camera, they can already match you to a photo, and they already got you in the system. So if you do something wrong, they can already catch you.
Zay's here to pick up his autism-causing Tylenol.
That's right. He's good to go. Just scan the face, cards paid, meds pop out, on with life, on to watch Patriots lose. Whatever it is.
Hey, we might lose this week though.
Oh, feels bad.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well, thanks as always for the feedback and the thoughts. I think you guys are wrong, but whatever. That's what the people want to hear.
You
That's what
think
you
we're
always
wrong?
think, Sam.
Okay.
That's what you always think.
So everyone listening, thank you for coming into the Rated RX podcast. Please like and subscribe. Facebook, the TikToks, the IG, all of it helps. Any last words, boys?
Out of here,
right.
bro.
Don't
Peace
sell your
out.
data. Bye.
Rated RX, you do